Okay, we're going to do some preliminary work here on the, at least for the drum channels here. Do a high pass on the snare. It's 100 hertz, probably doing the high tom, floor tom, as well as the, we got here, that's the ride. We need phantom power on the ride, as well as the snare and hat. And let's see here. Okay, there, make sure there's no padding going on with it. I'm just going to rough in some gain settings. I said just roughing them in, someplace to start. And as far as the EQ, we've had really good luck with taking out somewhere around 400 hertz, taking down about 690 dB out. That's on the kick drum. The snare, we'll leave that alone. The high tom, so it's probably around the 800 hertz. We're about, that's about 1K. Nothing's really more, I mean, there's just, they have spacings in here of what's what, so we're going to have to sort of guess where it's going to be, just as long as it sounds good. And floor tom, about the same as the high tom positioning of the mics. All right. Okay, just like in the other videos here, we're going to add these channels to a subgroup number 2. Let's take these out, leave that in. We're going to assign it to subgroup number 2. So what we're going to do is use the assignment switches, and so we can tell here. I mean, it's kind of the assignment switches. You can tell there's a 1 and 2 here, and over here you can tell there's a 1 and 2 also. So the 1's on the left, 2's on the right. Okay, so we're just going to pan those over to the right because we want everything to go over to subgroup number 2. So we've taken out a stereo, so it's not going to the stereo bus. We're assigning it to the subgroup, so it's going to the subgroup channels. Okay. And then if we come over here, let's see here. So we come over here, we've got the can set up here for the drums. We're just going to turn it on. All we're going to do here is assign it right down here to the stereo. So anything that's coming in over here, off these faders here, it's being routed to this subgroup right here. And as long as we assign it to the stereo, then it just sends it to the main output here. So that's all we got to do to assign it. We're doing a quick sound check here on the drum kit. Everything's assigned over to subgroup 2, and I've got subgroup 2 turned on. I'll be bringing it up in the house. Okay, we just do a little bit of EQ adjustment on the kick channel itself. It's not too bad. We've added more gain to it. Had to add more gain to it. So we're peaking about maybe 6 to 10 dB over 0 on the kick. Snare won't be peaking as high, but let's see, start here. Okay. Okay, that last part there was about 6 dB below zero. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. That sounds good. Okay, Tom. Tom. Okay, it's percussive, so we're adding more. Okay, I think we're going to try that as a place to start. Okay, we'll do the floor tom. PFL it. It's peaking about that may be +3. Yeah. Still, there we go. Okay, we made a little slight gate adjustment on it. All right. Okay, ride.
You want him to play all of it, so give me a beat.
Let's see, I made a bit more gain into that. All right, I think we're going to start there with it.
Yeah, you saying it right? You said it probably.
All right.
Give me a beat. Give me a beat.
Give me a beat.
Give me another beat. Give me another beat.
Okay, now some of you have asked about the compressor on this board. It's a Yamaha, this is the MGP24X board, and it does have compressors available on it, but only for a few channels. As you can see there, the yellow knobs are the compressor knobs. And the rest of the board, as you can tell, does not have compressors on every channel, but many of the channels do. We usually reserve the compressor channels for vocals. That'd be probably the first thing you use them for, and then secondly be for the drums. Everything else you pretty much don't need a compressor for. So even though a compressor is offered on this board, it's good to have some compression, but there's a lot of things that are missing with having just one compressor knob. For example, we can't really control when the compressor turns on, we can't control how long it is to be compressed, and we cannot control when the compressor gets released. But having some kind of compression is okay. So in this particular one, even though it's on one knob, when we turn it to the right, all we're adjusting is the is the level of compression. For example, this is basically off. But we turn a little bit, even though there's actually no markings on it indicating how much compression is being applied, but what it does is it applies a certain ratio, and I'm just going to guess here. We could say this would be 2 to 1, maybe this is 4 to 1, 8 to 1, and as we go more and more and more, it becomes the point where it acts almost as a limiter. But having too much compression, especially on vocals, can be problematic for feedback. Now, if you notice on some of the videos, I just may reach up and I'll adjust a little bit. What I'm doing is I'm listening for, let's say if this is vocal channel, I'm listening for the vocalist. And if I think he's coming a little bit over the top, I may just reach up and I'll just turn it just a little bit. I said there's no markings anywhere on here that is indicating how much compression we're applying, but there is some compression. That some compression is good. It'd be nice to have the ability to control more of what the compression does, but this should do just fine. Anyway, this is how this works. We just turn to the right, it's a higher compression ratio. We turn to the left, less compression. Yeah, so I'm trying to get a little dialed in.
You never make me feel like dirt.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, watching. The show went actually a bit longer than what it normally does. But anyway, that's the way it is in show business. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.